follow the law. The law says
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up. It's the Law with Attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we are on episode number 11. The deputy is on the stand. He is testifying about the black box on direct examination. We are going to finish the direct examination today, possibly even start a little bit of the cross-examination, and I am very much looking forward to the new information we're going to uncover. Was Fraser Bohm going 70? Was he going 104? Or was he going something else? Where did this 104 come from? I hope today we are finally going to discover the truth and whether or not we believe it. And when I say we, I am not alone in the studio. With me, I have Ari Jacob. How's it going, Ari?
Hey, how's it going?
Are you excited for this?
Yes, I've been wanting to read this, so I'm excited.
All right, let's keep it going. This is episode number 11 of about 17 or 18 we're going to do, so we're past the halfway point. Why don't we just dive right back in, shall we?
Let's do it.
Now, Deputy, when you went to Roy's towing, was there anyone else present with you?
Yes, Detective. Hold on, just for the record.
Sure.
Mr. Kraut, are you satisfied?
If I can just have a moment, Your Honor, I didn't have it.
Turn to page 2 for the following property. All right, the court's overruling the objection. Mr. Bartos, you may continue.
Thank you. Who was present with you at Roy's towing?
Detective Deputy Mark Dean and Detective Roger Schultz.
And do you see Roger Schultz in the court today?
Correct. Sitting to your right.
And so physically, what is it that you did to obtain the data?
We put a data link.
Objection to we.
All right, sustained. I'm
sorry, motion to strike.
All right, the word we is stricken.
Thank you.
Deputy, can you just start your response again, please? I put a data link connector to the BOTCH crash data retrieval tool and attached that to the airbag control module of the BMW.
And where's that located in the BMW?
In the center console, underneath the center console.
And were you able to retrieve the data from the BMW?
Yes.
And the data, were you able to retrieve it in a form that you were able to read it?
Yes. It provided the raw data, but I can also print out a PDF of that raw data.
So in terms of the information that you obtained, were there what you had previously described as events that were recorded from that BMW?
Correct. The data contained 3 events.
And as for the 3 events, were you able to tell from the download what was the most recent of those 3 events?
The most recent event would be recorded as record 1, and it says most recent event.
Okay, so record 1, the most recent in time. Record 2, I'm assuming, would be the second most recent, and the third would be the oldest?
Correct.
So in terms of the amount of information that it provided, the duration, how many seconds of information were you able to get from the BMW?
So the data provided 5 seconds of pre-crash data. There is a second and a half, just about a second and a half from the record 3 to record 1. So I've got a second and a half plus the 5 seconds of pre-crash from the original event. So it's a total of about 6.5 seconds.
And I apologize, Your Honor. Can I have that read back? It is being read by the reporter one more time for Mr. Kraut. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I have a single-page document indicating crash record 1, 2, and 3. I would ask to mark this as People's 20 for identification.
Yes.
It is marked for identification. Detective, I'm handing you what's been marked as People's 20 for identification. Do you recognize what's depicted in People's 20?
Yes.
What do you recognize this to be?
It is the 3 events lined up side by side so that the far right column is the oldest.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I don't have what he's looking at.
Mr. Bartos, you may continue. And Mr. Kraut, you are more than welcome to either look at Mr. Bartos or you can come up here at what he's holding and look at what the witness is holding.
All right. So, I'm sorry. What does this depict?
It is the data of the 3 events listed side by side.
Okay. And I'm displaying that on the overhead. And I'll zoom in. So in terms of the information that you were able to get, if we go as far back in time, were you able to determine that what the 6.5 seconds prior to the most recent collision, were you able to determine what the speed of the vehicle was at that time? Your Honor, I'm going to object as to the form of the question. There is no evidence that we have a recorded event. He says recorded of the collision. There's no evidence that the event was a collision. There's no foundation.
One moment, please.
The form of the question.
I understand. Just one moment, please. All right, that objection is overruled. The deputy previously testified what type of events the data recorder records, and he mentioned speed, steering, braking, different types of impacts. So that objection is overruled.
Your Honor, if I might, that question that was asked was if you're correct. These are recorded events, but what he just indicated is that the event, he's now labeled it as a quote-unquote crash. When it says speed, trajectory, etc. is an event, we have not said that. Counsel has now said that that event is a crash. It has not been. There's no foundation that the event is not one of the other things that are recorded. If it only recorded crashes, then I would agree.
Mr. Bartos, would you rephrase your question, please?
Yes, I would, Judge. Thank you. Okay, so Deputy, on this diagram, we can see record 1, record 2, and record 3. From the data that you downloaded from the device, are you able to tell whether or not any given record is a crash or collision or a non-collision?
Yes, the data will show that it is a deployment event, which would indicate that the airbags or seatbelt tensioner was deployed, indicating a crash.
So for these records, record number 3, was that a crash?
It was a deployment event, which would indicate a crash, correct?
In record number 2, was that a crash?
Correct. That was also a deployment event indicating a crash.
In record number 1, was that a crash?
Record number 1 indicated that it was a deployment event, but there was nothing left to deploy.
And in terms of the data that you get, the records, that doesn't tell you what particular object the vehicle struck or anything like that, correct?
Correct.
You just know that a deployment event occurred, and that is it. Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
Okay. So going from record number 3, you had mentioned that it gave you 5 seconds prior, data up to 5 seconds prior from record number 3. Did it give you the speed of the vehicle 5 seconds prior to record number 3?
Yes.
So what was the speed 5 seconds prior to record number 3?
93 miles an hour.
Now that is a number we have not heard yet.
Yeah.
Where did this 93 come from?
I'm still confused.
Hold on a second. I thought the two numbers that we had was 70 and 104. Here is a deputy that has extracted the black box from Bohm's BMW, and he says 5 seconds prior it was 93. Why is nobody talking about this number?
I'm not sure.
I guess we'll find out. Have you or someone you love been injured as a result of someone else's negligence? Or worse, lost a loved one because of it? I am attorney Larry Forman, and myself and my team of trial lawyers are ready to help you to get the absolute maximum compensation permissible under the law. We know the system. We understand how to win. Anywhere in the United States, 24 hours a day. 1-844-774-HURT. Call us. We can help. And in terms of any other information that you were able to obtain about the vehicle, about what the vehicle was doing, does the vehicle record the acceleration of the car in addition to the actual speed?
Yes, it does.
How so?
It is going to be in the column. It will be, if the 0 to -5 is the time column, miles per hour is the next one. The accelerator pedal is going to be that third column over from the time. It will give me a percentage.
So as we're looking at this document, the lowest line where it has -5.0, you said 93 would be the miles per hour. The next number, that's the acceleration?
Percentage-wise, correct.
And what does that mean, percentage acceleration?
79% of the accelerator input of the vehicle. So 0 would be there's no foot on the gas. 100 would mean foot to the floor.
So of that lowest level, it would be 79% acceleration?
Correct.
So I understand. Would then 100% be a pedal that was all the way on the floor of the vehicle?
Correct. I think it would show up as 99. It wouldn't give you 100%, but I think that 100% would be 99 for the BMW.
And then the next number, 4,700, what does that represent?
Engine RPMs.
Continuing moving to the right, there's a column, and in the lowest one, it lists 0. What does that represent?
That would be steering input.
So in terms of steering input, how is that displayed for a BMW?
So for BMW, if you're proceeding straight, it's going to be 0 steering input. Any left-hand turn is going to be a negative number. Right-hand turn is going to be a positive number.
And is there any equation as to what the percent of a turn on the actual wheel is to what the steering input is?
I'm not aware of that for this vehicle.
The next column that's listed as quote-unquote off, what does that represent?
Off would be the brake switch.
And is that like the accelerator pedal? Does it tell us a percentage?
No, it's just, are the brakes being applied or not? And there's no percentage. It's just if the lights were going on, it's going to show up as on.
The next column indicates number A. What does that represent?
I believe it's the ABS or the ABS engaged.
What is ABS?
It's the braking system to pulsate the brakes to slow down the car.
ABS like anti-lock brakes?
Anti-lock brakes, yes, thank you. Mr. Kraut, can you...
I want to... He's testifying to the full document, and nobody can see, including the court, cannot see the full document.
Well, he was actually testifying to a column that we could see, just for the record, but now we can see the full document. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And then the last column, and it appears highlighted in pink. It says on engaged. What does that represent?
The stability control of the car, if there's roll or pitch.
Roll, pitch. What does that mean?
If the stability control in the car is being activated. So if the vehicle senses that it is losing control of the roadway, it will pulsate either one tire or the other to kind of help with the stability control on the car to keep it going straight.
And so in that farthest record in time, it shows on engaged. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you said that 5 seconds from record 2, the speed was 93 miles an hour. Over the course of those 5 seconds, what was the speed of the vehicle?
From record 3?
From record 3.
The top speed was 104 miles an hour at 2.5 seconds prior to, and then it goes down to 99 at 0.
Okay, so some more information. So he was accelerating. That's why we never heard the 93 number. They just fixated on the top speed, according to the deputy, that it was 104. There it is. We finally have it.
From the black box?
This is allegedly from the black box. These are 3 events, 3, 2, and 1 in that order, because 3 is the last one, the final collision. The second one is the next to last collision, and the first one there is no collision. It was something else.
Okay.
So you said that at 0 for this record, 3 would be the deployment event. Is that correct?
Correct.
So then at the time that there was a deployment, the vehicle was traveling 99 miles per hour?
Correct. The first deployment for this event would have been at 99 miles an hour.
Okay. Event 2, how much data did you receive from event 2?
The same data, the 0. It would be the time 0, 5 seconds pre-crash. But we also have that half a second from event 3 that's in the system. It doesn't show up on event record 2, but it's still recorded under event 3.
So at the time of record 2, what was the speed of the vehicle at that time?
At the beginning of the record, it has 96 miles an hour.
And then record 1, which would be the most recent in time, how much data did the recorder provide you from that event?
The same 5 seconds pre-crash, but then we also have the pre-crash data from record 2 and 3. So if we have the 5 seconds from pre-crash on record 1, we have an additional approximately 2 seconds from event record 3 that ties into event record 1.
So as we look at this document and we look towards record 1, so this 5-second period would be record 1. Is that correct?
Correct.
At the deployment event, you said that there was nothing left to deploy, but at the deployment event for record 1, what is the speed?
70 miles an hour.
There it is. There's the 70. Okay, so to extrapolate for our audience here, I want to take a pause and discuss this real quick. So we have 3 deployment events. 2 of them are crashes. 1 of them is not. We're moving in reverse order. So it's 3, 2, 1. 3 happened first, 2 happened second, and 1 happened last, because it records in kind of reverse order, and it can record up to 5, and we only have 3, so we don't have to worry about that. At the deployment event, you said that there was nothing left to deploy, but the deployment event for record 1, the speed was 70. So at record 3, he's going 104, allegedly. Around record 2, he's going about 99 or 93, something like that, somewhere in between there. And by the time he hits the last vehicle, he is down to 70 miles an hour. So which one is the event that was the collision with the 4 females? Was it 3 or 2? Since we know 1 was not, or excuse me, was it 1 or 2, or 2 or 1? Do you know?
No, I'm just reading this for the, figuring this out for the first time here.
That's what I figured, yeah.
It goes backwards, huh? That's what they're saying? That's
what I figured. So let's pretend for just a second, because it was probably the initial impact. If I were a betting man, we'll get our answer here shortly, but I'm just trying to foreshadow what I anticipate is going to be said. So the actual collision did not occur at 104, although allegedly there's a record that he was going 104. The defense is definitely going to need to bring in an expert to show that 104 is probably inaccurate. That's going to be the first thing they're going to have to do. And the second thing that I imagine Jackson is going to do is he is going to call Victor Calandra to the stand, and he's going to cross-examine the hell out of Victor Calandra, including the video evidence that contradicts the fact that Victor says, he rolled down his window and yelled at Bohm. I don't think that ever happened, Ari. I think that's a lie.
He was just chasing him.
Yeah, I think they were playing tag. Bohm involuntarily so. He was not interested in this game. Victor was just having his own fun or whatever. And I think Victor is the catalyst who caused the accident. I'm going to say that. I don't know if I'm right or not, but this Victor might be much more culpable than Bohm.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking this whole time too. But I had some people that are like experts on cars look at this, and one of them told me that what this Apodaca is saying is actually that something about a wheel. So maybe they get into that here in the next part of it. That the 104 number came from the part that's tracking the wheel speed. So that's what I'm interested in, because if a car is airborne, the wheel speed's obviously going to be much higher once it's airborne. So if that was recorded after it had already hit, you get what I'm saying? So
yes.
So that's what we need to.
If the car is not making. If the car is not making contact with the pavement, the wheels are going to be spinning at a much greater speed than it was in reality when it was hitting the pavement. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's huge. That is huge. So that means the 104 may be a false reading.
Right.
Fascinating. Wow. That's cracking the case wide open, potentially. We'll see.
Remember, there's reporters, right, supposedly with their computers in here, but they didn't explain this to anybody, So we'll see. Because so far, it's a little bit hard to follow too, just of like which was the first one, and
they're not interested in the truth. They're just interested in
a headline.
A headline. What's the word I'm looking for? They're sensationalism. They're interested in sensationalism. 104. The deputy testified he was going 104.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm sure they were making that sound too. Or they were like, ha ha ha, evil, like laugh.
Oh yes, they're the pinky. Okay, so 70 miles an hour. That was the speed at deployment for event record 1, which was the final contact. So,
unless that was the first contact. So I'm not totally.
No, it's backwards. Record 3, it goes 3, 2, 1. 2 of them are crashes, and 1 of them is not. And I forget. I think 3 isn't, and then 2 and 1 are. I forget.
Okay.
So from record 2, where you said it was approximately 96 miles an hour, to record 1, how many seconds was that?
There was about a second and a half in between, I want to say, 1.4 seconds.
So in the 1.4 seconds, the vehicle decelerated, and let me do the math. It looks like the vehicle decelerated, 26 miles an hour?
Roughly 27. It has from 97 to 70, so 27 roughly.
And in terms of you understanding this data, taking this raw data, what did you then do with it after you downloaded it?
After I downloaded it, my first thing I did was I checked the ignition cycles. There was one additional ignition cycle from these events to my download. When I downloaded the vehicle, which to me would indicate the vehicle was turned off at the scene, and then I had inputted one ignition cycle to do the download, to power up for the download. So the ignition cycles made sense. They also have, the device has a millisecond time counter. There are 3 events all 3 events were on the same ignition cycle. And the millisecond time counter, there was like 1.4 seconds between event record 3 and event record 1, which would indicate that it was a significantly close amount of time between the 3 events, which would indicate that the 3 events were related. They're all in the same ignition cycle, and they were 1.4 seconds apart.
And you had mentioned that in other instances with BMWs, you had taken the data and you had been able to do calculations and compare that to the physical evidence that you observed.
Correct.
Did you do that in this case?
In this case, I did.
What did you do?
For this case, I calculated out a principal direction of force, which the vehicle is sensing the change in speed, both laterally and longitudinally. So how much the vehicle is slowing down front to back and how much it's increasing its speed side to side. So what I did was calculated the principal direction of force in each record event and mirrored that with the impact at the scene. So record 3, I calculated out a 20-degree principal direction of force. And if you're looking straight through the car, 0 would be straight ahead. A 20-degree principal direction of force is about 20 to 30 degrees off center line from straight ahead, which mirrors the vehicle striking the red Mazda, at that 20-degree impact and continuing forward. Okay.
So the record is clear. When you're saying that, when you said 0 degrees, you had your hands kind of in a praying position, pointed forward, and then you took your right hand and then you moved it to the right approximately 3 inches?
Clockwise.
So that would be, when you're saying 20 degrees, that would be 20 degrees meaning right?
Yeah. Positive 20 degrees would be to the right or clockwise.
And if it was negative, that would be to the left?
That would be to the left side.
Okay. So you got there, but I got caught up with what you were doing with your hands. I'm sorry. Did the inputs that you received for record 3 appear consistent with a collision with the red Mazda?
Correct. And because that was...
Objection, Your Honor. No foundation as to where the BMW was at the time. There's no foundation to have the consistent statement.
All right. One moment. All right. Sustained.
Motion to strike any portion of that, Your Honor.
Granted.
Well, Ari, now we have speeds for the first time in the preliminary hearing. We are hearing at least 3 or 4 different numbers, and they range anywhere from 104 all the way down to 70. And this is where we've heard the extremes. Now we have some intermediary numbers in like event number 2 and between events 3 and 2 and 2 and 1. But people have kind of capitalized, it seems like, right before event 3, which was the first one, and right after event 1, which was the last one, those 2 speeds, the 104 and the 70. But in between, there was obviously deceleration, and those are the numbers we heard today, the 97, the 99, the 93, all of those. And obviously, the vehicle is going to decelerate as it makes impact. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that stood out to me is like the defense attorney, it's really interesting how like they have to be on. I mean, Kraut, like every little tiny thing, he points it out, and you have to know the law really well to do that in your head. I'm like, I always said, I wish I could have been a lawyer, but now like I'm thinking, oh my God, that's too much stuff to remember all at once. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
It is
how
a
he's
lot
always
of work.
Interjecting, and he knows right when to say what.
The beauty of criminal defense work, believe me, I know exactly what it feels like. I've done it many, many times. That's why I love being a trial lawyer, because trial lawyers, we get you more money, and we get those 2-word verdicts, the not guilty, because you have to pay attention. Right. You have to pay attention to everything. You have to prepare your client. You have to prepare your case. You have to be ready for cross-examination. You have to be ready for anything that may come your way. So
what does it matter if he says like we versus I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, is it just he's being a stickler just because that's what his job is, or like
he's doing his job? No, the officer can only testify as to present sense impression plus his expertise as an accident reconstructionist. So he has a little bit of 701 and a little bit of 702. Those are the rules of evidence. 701 is layperson's testimony. 702 and 703 is expert testimony. And so basically this police officer, when he starts saying we, that's hearsay. That is the introduction of hearsay. You are bringing in other people that
Sounds like more than one person
are not
is
on the stand. Exactly. So no, Crowd is not just being a stickler. He is doing it for real, and there's justification to him doing it.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's impressive. Like, I think anybody that's representing somebody for with their potentially going to jail for life. I mean, that's so important. So, in terms of the black box stuff and I think I want to, I almost have to reread or re-listen to that part, because it's he didn't really go into everything that causes an event, right? Because I mean, if somebody hits your mirror, is that an event? If somebody
probably not. So again, remember, events have to be triggered by he testified that an airbag deployment is going to be one of the not only but primary, it seems like, or maybe even only instances where the black box events will be triggered. So it's got to be significant enough. If it's just a little fender bender with a little bump or whatever, I don't think the black box is going to record that for obvious reasons.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not sure, but I think he's going to probably get into more about the details of everything.
For sure. Where can we find you, Ari?
I'm Little Miss Jacob everywhere, and I'm at Influences on YouTube. So thanks for everybody that's coming over and following me there. I appreciate it.
At Little Miss Jacob everywhere on her socials, at Influences on YouTube. Go subscribe. Go subscribe. Go subscribe right now. What are you waiting for? Why are you not subscribing? Are you subscribed? You should be subscribed. Go subscribe. Also, while you're subscribing, don't forget to subscribe to this channel too. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Ari, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Folks, this is it for another episode. We are going to continue this with episode number 12 of the Fraser Bohm preliminary hearing earlier this year. I wanted to thank you all for joining. I hope you learned something, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.